If you are using copyrighted content in your channel videos, copyright law will definitely be your biggest nightmare. That's when you start looking for answers to questions like, can you use video clips or sounds made by someone else in your channel videos? When is it actually fair use to include copyrighted material in your channel videos, and when is it not? These types of questions are all normal to ask, especially if you've just been introduced into what copyright is. But the truth is, the lines between the answers to such questions are often blurred when it comes to fair use and copyright laws. Basically, sometimes the answers can be very confusing. Hopefully, in this video, we are going to clear out some of that confusion a little bit. Now, before we get any further, here is a declaration. It's important to note that whatever I'm sharing in this video should only be taken as general guidelines and not a legal advice. So if you are not sure 100% about how fair use law relates to a specific situation, then I would recommend that you consult a lawyer. Having said all that, if this is your first time to this channel and you're interested in making videos using copyrighted content, make sure to check out the playlist that pops up on the top right of this video. And don't also forget to hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Now, most creators just starting out usually think that by just including a phrase to credit the original video owner, fair use will just automatically apply to their videos. Unfortunately, and I'm being honest with you, I don't think there is a magic phrase that you can say that will protect your video from a copyright claim. The easiest way to avoid any copyright issues altogether is to create 100% original content. Having said that, if you still do choose to incorporate copyrighted content into your channel videos, your best defense against any copyright claim is to gain a full understanding of fair use. Fair use is known as a legal doctrine that says you can reuse copyrighted protected material under certain circumstances without getting permission from the original copyright owner. Now, when you are trying to determine whether or not your use of copyrighted material is covered under the fair use doctrine, there are 4 questions that you need to ask yourself. You first want to ask yourself how much of the original copyrighted content you want to use. You should be always careful when editing any video that is copyrighted. The amount of content that you extract to use in your own video matters. You want to use just a short piece of video clip from the original copyrighted material. Actually, most of the top YouTube creators I've been watching are recommending the 80-20 proportion. That simply means for every copyrighted content you are using to create your own video, you need to use just 20% of the copyrighted content, and the extra 80% should be your own original added value. Take for example, let's say you want to use this video to create a compilation video of your own. This video, as you can see, is copyrighted because it's a standard YouTube video, not a Creative Commons video. Now, assuming that this video is 5 minutes long, right? That means if you want to use this video to create your compilation video, you need just about a minute long video clip from this original video, the 1 minute being the 20% proportion. Here is another example of one of the videos on this channel where I used a short video clip of a standard video here on YouTube, which therefore means the video was also copyrighted. Actually, I just needed just this short clip to use, and I happened to find this guy's video and decided to use it. It's just a little piece from one single video. It's always recommended to use as many different related videos, taking off just 20% of each of the videos to create your compilation. So basically, you just want to use enough of the copyrighted content as you need to in order to get your point across. The next question you want to ask yourself is, what are you planning to do with the original copyrighted content that you're using to create your video or videos? What is the purpose or the character of the use? If you happen to be doing something highly transformative with the content, then the video you are creating will be considered a piece of video clip that falls under the YouTube Fair Use guidelines. Taking the original copyrighted video out of context, for example, is a great way of transforming a copyrighted content to your own unique video. That's what the top 10 least video channels are actually doing, using short clips of copyrighted video clips and images to create the top 10 list videos, which, as you can see, tend to generate tons of views and are all monetized. Actually, currently I'm working on some videos on tools that you can use to transform your videos to make them fall under the YouTube Fair Use guidelines. So if you're interested, make sure to come back to this video and check out the playlist that will be popping just about now on the top right of this video. So the bottom line is, you are more likely to be covered under the YouTube Fair Use guidelines if you are saying something quite different from what the original creator of the copyrighted video was trying to say or is trying to say. The third question you might want to ask yourself is, what's the nature of the copyrighted content you're using? What's the type of copyrighted video you're using to create your own video? Are you using a creative or fictional content? For example, in this case, a documentary or a film will be considered creative as opposed to cartoons, which will be considered fiction. Now, if it happens that you are using a creative or factual copyrighted content to create your unique video, your video will easily fall under the YouTube Fair Use guideline. And that's simply because YouTube weighs towards fair use if the original work you are using is based on facts like science data or quotes from a historical record. On the other hand, YouTube is against fair use if the original work is based highly on creative works like a song, a movie, or TV shows. Let's now just quickly go through the first three factors again before moving on to the next. The first factor was always to use short video clips, and remember, we talked about the 80/20 rule. The second factor was about the purpose or character of the use. What are you really planning to do with the original copyrighted content that you are using to create your video? And the third factor, which we just looked at, is on the different natures of copyrighted content and which of them will work best for you when it comes to getting your videos to fall under the YouTube Fair Use guidelines. The fourth and final factor, which in this case is a question you should be asking yourself, is if your video serves as a substitute for the original video in terms of potential market. The most important factor most courts take into consideration when determining fair use is the effect of use upon the potential market for the copyrighted content. If your video will take away views or sales from the original video content, then of course your video will hardly be covered under the YouTube Fair Use. Additionally, you shouldn't be creating a video that will take over the market that the original copyrighted owners are entitled to exploit. So, before using any copyrighted work or content, you want to always ask yourself these 4 questions. If you happen to have a good answer for all of them and you can justify the use of the copyrighted content, then go ahead. But if you're not sure, I would recommend you to consult a lawyer. Now, before I round up this video, I also want to recommend you to check out this video. You'll find the link below this video. This is a project that Anthony Falzon and Julie Ahrens did a couple of years back. In the video, they answered common questions about fair use and copyright. So if you would like to check it out, you'll find a link below this video. Again, if you still have questions after watching that video, or you're unsure if the type of videos you create fall under fair use, then you should, again, as I recommend, speak with a lawyer. On the other hand, if you have had any interesting experiences with YouTube copyright and fair use, please do share them with us in the comments area below this video. And with all that, I'll wrap up this video. I hope it was helpful. If so, hit the like button below, share it on your preferred social site, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another helpful video.